remember their birthday. You are collecting. You do not see it as collecting because the currency is invisible. You are not after money. You are after the standing, the credit, the unspoken balance that tilts in your favor when the moment comes. You have been trained to call this thoughtfulness. The training was thorough, and it began early. The child who learns to notice what the parent needs before they ask is not being kind. The child is being strategic. In a home where love is inconsistent or conditional or simply scarce, the child who anticipates becomes the child who survives. They learn to track moods like weather. They learn that remembering a preference is cheaper than demanding attention. They learn that the ledger of small favors is the only bank that never fails. This is not a flaw in the child. It is intelligence applied to an unstable environment. The problem is that the environment ended and the intelligence did not. You carried this into adulthood. You still scan. You still note. You file away the coffee order, the childhood fear, the name of the dead pet. You tell yourself this is what it means to be good at relationships. You are half right. You are good at the architecture of obligation. You build structures so subtle that even you cannot see the beams. Then you stand inside and call it intimacy. The mechanism is elegant. You give something that costs you little but reads as significant to them. A text on a hard day. A gift that references an old conversation. Your presence at the thing they mentioned once. Each deposit is small. Each deposit is real. But the account is not love. The account is leverage, and the interest compounds in silence. You do not plan to call it in. That is the part that keeps you honest in your own eyes. You are not scheming. You are not conscious of the math. But the math is there, and it activates when the balance shifts against you. When they disappoint you. When they choose someone else. When they fail to notice your own hard day. Then you feel the tilt, the wrongness, the sense that something is owed. You do not name it as debt because you have never named the deposits as investment. But the feeling is unmistakable. It is the feeling of a creditor watching a debtor walk past without acknowledgement. You thought of someone else just now. A person who does this to you, perhaps. Someone who keeps score so carefully that you can feel the chalk on the board. That is the protection working. You are permitted to see the pattern only when it is aimed at you. When you aim it, you are being thoughtful. When they aim it, they are being manipulative. The distinction is not morality, it is perspective. Watch how it moves through your week. At work, you are the one who remembers the project anniversary, the colleague's dietary restriction, the boss's pet peeve. You are not doing this because you care more. You are doing this because you have learned that accumulated small debts buy protection against large failures. The mistake you make next month will be smaller in the ledger because of the favors you stored today. You are not a worse person for this. You are a person who learned that visibility is danger and invisibility is survival. In romance, the pattern deepens. You are attentive in ways that feel like love. You notice the shift in their breathing, the change in their text cadence, the song they mentioned in passing. You store these observations and deploy them at moments of tension, not consciously, automatically. The fight is de-escalated not because you are generous, but because you are drawing on reserves you built precisely for this purpose. They feel loved. You feel safe. Neither feeling is false. Neither feeling is what it pretends to be. The intelligent person's version is the most difficult to see. They have read enough to describe their behavior in clinical terms. They know about anxious attachment, about hypervigilance, about the childhood origins of their pattern. They use this knowledge not to change the pattern but to justify it. They are not collecting, they are coping. They are not transactional, they are traumatized. The vocabulary becomes another layer of the architecture, another invisible beam. They can discuss the mechanism with you for an hour without ever touching the fact that they are still inside it, still building, still waiting for the moment when the balance tilts and they can finally say, I have given so much. The person who has done some work is worse in a different way. They have learned to ask directly for what they need. They have read that this is healthy. So now they make their requests with the same underlying ledger, but with better packaging. The need is stated cleanly, but the expectation is still there. The disappointment when the need is not met is still disproportionate. They have upgraded their language without upgrading their interior. They are fluent in a vocabulary of health while running the same old operating system. I have watched this across thousands of accounts. The pattern does not vary by culture or era or language. The human builds the ledger first and names it love afterward. The naming is sincere. The ledger is older than the name. The cost accrues in the spaces you do not monitor. You wonder why your relationships feel thin at the center. why the closeness you expected never quite arrives. It never arrives because closeness requires the absence of the ledger. True attention is given without record. True memory is held without weight. You have made your thoughtfulness into a burden, and they can feel the weight even when you cannot. The late cost is the hardest. You reach a point where you have given so much, in so many small currencies, that you are exhausted by your own generosity. You have become a bank that only lends and never borrows, and you are collapsing under the unreceived payments. You are angry at them for not noticing the debt, but you never showed them the books. You hid the books even from yourself. The anger has no legitimate target, so it turns inward or leaks sideways into resentment that poisons what it was meant to protect. Awareness does not dissolve this. You are aware of it now in some form, and you will still do it tomorrow. The pattern is deeper than knowledge. It is wired into the nervous system of the child who had to notice in order to live. The rare person who escapes does not escape through insight. They escape through repeated experience of giving without record and discovering that they do not die, that the world does not end, that love given without ledger is not love lost. This takes longer than most people have. It takes longer than you have, probably. You remember their birthday. You are collecting. But here is what you did not know you were doing. You were not collecting from them. You were collecting from the child you were, the one who gave everything she had and was still left unseen. You have been trying to make that child visible by making yourself indispensable. You remember their birthday because no one remembered yours. The debt is not theirs. It was never theirs. You have been standing at the counter of a closed bank, making deposits into an account that does not exist, hoping the child inside you will finally be told that she was enough. She was. The telling cannot come from them.